Hey everyone, good morning. You may be wondering why I'm not sitting in front of my fireplace in my kitchen and I'm instead a little animated character. Well, it's too hot this summer to sit in front of my fireplace, so we're changing things up. We just finished talking about Moses, the man who brought God's people out of slavery. More specifically, we talked about how he went on a journey from being fearful to being faithful. This summer, we're going to talk about another man, a man who was more than a man, Jesus. We're going to try to determine just who this guy was. When somebody asks the question, what would Jesus do? We want to have the answer. And in order to do that, we're going to read a long, long letter that somebody wrote about him. And that somebody was a doctor named Luke. Here's a related question. How do you know if someone is being trustworthy? Or maybe more importantly, how do you know that something written down is real? Well, historians check a few things. Is it a primary source, something written at the time, or a secondary source, something written afterwards by somebody else? Secondary sources, the kind written afterwards, aren't always wrong, but they're most useful when they're backed up with primary sources. Historians also check to see if other things written about the event seem to agree with what it said. The letter we're going to be looking at is actually more of a short book written by, like I said, a doctor named Luke. You may be more familiar with it as the Gospel of Luke. Luke tells us at the beginning of his little book that he investigated everything carefully. He's a secondary source, but he's got primary sources. We also know that his version of what happened in Jesus' life generally agrees with what other people said happened at the time. Luke's little letter book thingamajig is what we're going to use to learn about the character of Jesus. So keep an eye out, and let's get started.